Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Danielle Harris. She is a marketing and messaging consultant. She teaches coaches and service providers how to attract and sign dream clients by sharing their unique stories in their messaging. Welcome to the show, Danielle.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
You are welcome to the show, Danielle. You are welcome to India in this online form. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to talk about. We'll talk about how to make the most out of one marketing. How can one do that, especially small businesses? So, my first question is, Danielle, is to understand in terms of marketing, which is the most important aspect? Is it about storytelling? Is it about great words? Is it about uh, the type of social media you use, or is it about any other tool? I want to understand how should one look at marketing in today's time. What is the most important aspect of the marketing or messaging that you are doing?
Well, I like to tell the people that I'm working with that there are two really important stories that you need to be able to understand in order to do really great marketing. And so the first story is understanding and knowing your own story. I think a lot of times people very much underestimate what it is that they bring to the table. They underestimate the impact that their own experience can have on other people. And so knowing and understanding how to convey that is going to be one of the most important things. And then after that, the second thing that you really need to know is the story and the experiences of the people that you're trying to help. When you know what people are struggling with, when you know what thoughts that they're having when they're approaching a problem that they're struggling with, when you know what it is that they ultimately want to have, when you know those things and you know your own story as well, you can combine that together to create marketing and messaging that's really going to get at the heart of what people need. When you know that information, you can do so many things. You can create marketing that's going to show up well on whatever platform. But if you don't know those core fundamental things, it's going to be really hard for you to be able to put any substantial or any effective marketing together.
Right, right, Daniel. So let's understand this. You talk about, you say that for most business owners, their story is their most underutilized asset. What do you mean by that? And obviously, they keep on telling about themselves, about their products. So, how does it remain underutilized? What is the way to, extract the most out of their story? Do you need any special extractor, or is there a special way to do that? Help us understand that.
So a lot of times the people that I work with, they are coaches, they are consultants, and a lot of the times what they are talking about is they're talking about facts. Here is this information that I have. Here is that information that I have. I know all of this information. But a lot of times people fail to really connect on a deeper personal level of hey, I have experienced this too. I have gone through XYZ scenario. So I understand where you are at, that level of connection and relatability. That's an area that I see a lot of people not taking advantage of as much. They're just like, hey, I know this fact and I know this thing and I've accomplished this, that, or the other. But they don't talk about their experiences in the past. They don't talk about, say, if they help people getting new jobs in a career. They don't talk about, hey, there was a time where I wasn't making as much in my career. And these are the things that I went through and struggled with. And now I came through and I learned these things. And now I'm helping you do this as well. People, especially if they are very much new and starting off, they don't want to show like, oh, well, maybe I'm under experienced. I don't have the years of experience. So I just want to say and show off how smart and how good I am versus saying, okay, these are the things that I've gone through, that I've experienced. And so, because of that, I am best equipped to be able to help you go through that as well.
Right, right, Daniel. So, in terms of, people generally say, don't talk about yourself, talk about the customer's
Mhm.
pain. So, how do you calibrate both the things at the same time?
The point of knowing and understanding your story isn't to brag and talk about yourself, it's to create a connection with your people. So, like I said before, there are two very important aspects. The purpose of you knowing your story and the purpose of you knowing the story of your people is to see where is their overlap. Because the point of, say, you have an about section on your website. The point of the about section isn't about you as the business owner, it's about the person that is coming to read. How can they see themselves in your experiences that you're going through? So it's not really even about you. It's about mirroring an experience that you have. This person went through XYZ thing. I'm going through XYZ thing. I should be able to trust them because they've overcome the same thing that I'm trying to overcome. So it's not about like you bragging on yourself and talking about X, Y, and Z, all the things that I can do. It's about showing people the possibility. That's the whole goal and the point of your story and telling it is showing the possibility of what other people can be able to achieve.
Right, right, Daniel. Let's understand it this way. You talk about, when you were in the corporate world, you were capable of, in fact, making concrete actually interesting. And
Yes.
if that is the power of words, so if you can make even concrete interesting, then any other campaign will become interesting. Along with that, there is a saying nowadays that, be authentic. So
Hmm.
how do you make those things authentic, concrete, even concrete interesting in terms of using the power of the words, as well as maintain authenticity at the same time? How do you manage that balance, that you are not bragging, you are not uh, adding something different more than you are actually capable of, especially as a coach or consultant or a small business,
Mm.
and that you are only, you are an empty vessel, and actually people can through it, and not, you are not authentic. So how do I do this two difficult job at the same time?
No, yeah. So as you mentioned, for about a decade, I worked in the concrete industry, and one of the things that I was tasked with doing is talking about books and courses and classes that are about concrete. Now, to the outside world, people are just like, concrete is not the most interesting thing at all. But one of the things that I needed to do is be able to talk about it in a way where it was connecting with the people that needed to hear that message, and also on occasion for the people that are not at all familiar about concrete, the pros of it. I was talking about the fact that concrete is in your buildings, it's in your roads. You need people who are smart and educated enough so that the buildings that you're in don't fall down, that the bridges that you drive across, that they're going to be safe. Concrete is going to be the most important thing in your everyday, day-to-day life. Right. And that's not an exaggeration at all. Like that, it is critical, it is important. And so from being an authentic, is finding the truth in that. Like I said, with that, like that's the truth. If those things aren't up to code, if those things aren't strong and stable, it's not going to work out. You're going to have problems. And so for the people that you're trying to help, what is the core? What is the truth of what it is that you're experiencing and going through? So you might say like, okay, well, I'm not an engineer and I'm not building things where if they fall down, like lives are on the line. Like that's not the work that I do. But you could be a person where you are in marketing, or you could be a person where you are helping people find jobs, or you could be in a scenario where you're helping people to manage their money. That's very important to them. So being authentic in how you are getting that across. If you are a person that said, hey, I was applying for jobs that I was, very much underqualified for, tell that story about how that went for you. If you are a person that helps people with money and you talk about, hey, I was maxing out credit cards and I was spending way more, and this is the experience that I went through, like tell the truth in those things, but as they relate to what's that going to bring of value to the people that you're looking to work with. And those are the stories and those are the experiences that you want to hear, is like how is that going to be relevant. So from the concrete angle, people want to feel safe going into their buildings and know that, like, no, it's going to be sturdy and it's going to be safe. So when people are going to work with you, they want to understand, like, okay, they've gone through similar things that I've gone through. They know what it is that I'm experiencing, and I feel safe coming to them with my problems, with my issues, and that I'm going to get them solved.
Right, right, Daniel. So, who will make my words sound interesting enough? Will it be me? Will it be a person like you? Me is in terms of business owner, in terms of a person like you, but every time they will not get either as competent a person of like you, or will it be artificial intelligence which will do it for you? How should a business owner, small business owner, look at picking the tools of marketing for himself or herself, especially on the storytelling part?
So it goes back to understanding what the people actually want and need. It's going to be about being very observant about who you're looking to help. And I think a lot of times people are just like, okay, well, like here's a good hook, and here's a good tagline, and here's this trend, and here's this other thing. But where are you being very observant about the people that you're actually trying to help? And you're looking at small details. And then from those details that you're looking at, say that you realize that, oh, people usually follow the first three steps of the information that I give. They get lost after step four, but like if they follow those first three steps, they're usually on board. Observe those things and create stories about that. If you notice that, like, oh, people get very excited when I talk to them about this thing and there's a lot of interaction, like you're studying those small instances. And then from there, you are saying, like, okay, what can I do with this now that I know? I know a lot of people are just like, okay, so I can input all of these things and put it into AI, which I think is a great tool. I think AI is a great assistant, but also you're still going to need to be able to be very fluent in your own brand story. You're going to be able to say, like, when people come to me, they are looking for this, this, and this. And they are coming with these problems because of these reasons. If you are able to do that, the more specific you're able to give information to AI, the more specific and better you're going to get information from AI back. But it's one of those things where they say garbage in, garbage out. So you have to be able to provide really great quality information to give to the AI for it to even do something with it. So it's still on you as a business owner to be very clear about, like, who am I working with? What are the things that they're really looking for, and getting very detailed and nuanced on that information about them. It's, like I said, it's about knowing their story and those aspects of it and what you bring to the table as well, so that you can then give it to an expert that's going to help you one-on-one, or to an AI, or to anyone else. Like, it's going to be on you as the business owner to be very clear on that. And that's what I help my clients with, is pulling out that information, helping them to be observant, looking at um, their client intake forms, helping them go through client calls that they have, helping them go through any information and data that they have to pull out that information, the things that people have said, so that they can start to piece together that story.
Right, right, Daniel. You talk about using already existing information.
Mhm.
What are the things that one can look at within uh, the internal workings of either a coach, which is a one person, two-person organization, or small business? Why and how is it different than repurposing? Is it the same thing? I want
Mm.
to understand.
Yeah, so using information that you already have as kind of a baseline of understanding the story of the people that you're working with is looking at several different things. If you are, like I said, a one-on-one coach or consultant, or even a small business owner, if you're primarily on the digital space, then it's going to be looking at, say, your LinkedIn. What are people saying or commenting there? It's on Instagram, or it's in private messages. It's in the emails that you get as reply backs from people. It's going to be when you are working with someone, and typically a lot of people have a form that people fill out of saying, like, hey, these are my problems, these are the things that I'm going through. Is looking at all of those different aspects and you looking at that and determining, okay, based off of what people are saying across the board, it's some flavor of this problem right here. So, say people coming to me, the problem that people are saying, like, oh, I'm having a hard time trying to get people into my programs. So it's some variation of that type of thing. Then I'm just like, okay, well, this is what people are consistently saying. One, is this matching what I'm putting out in marketing? If it isn't, then it's like, okay, well, there's a disconnect there. So what is it that these people are saying? How can I hone that in? And what I'm going to do then is use that to influence all of my marketing. People are consistently telling me this problem. People are consistently telling me these are the situations that they're coming into. And I use that to create marketing. So it's different from repurposing, because once you have the content that you've created, then you can tweak it and adjust it based off of things that you were learning. But the best place to look for insight or information on how you should be marketing your business is looking at information already right in front of you, taking notes, the notes that you have on client calls, like I said, direct messages, emails, intake forms. All of those are really great places to start and honing in on exactly what you should be saying in your marketing.
Right, right. In terms of online marketing, Daniel, today there's a whole shift going on. Some people are saying, you focus on your own website. Some people say go for newsletters because you own your audience, your potential clients, and all. What is the best way to utilize this? Are there some tools which you should focus more? Are there some ways of old marketing that you should leave behind in 2024? What is your tip on this?
I am always in favor of you doing things that you're going to own yourself. Always in favor of that. But I'm also more of a fan of what are you going to be consistent at doing? Whatever it is that you're going to be the most present and be able to do on a regular basis. Now, I'm not talking about frequency of like having a blog post that goes out every single day or sending out email newsletters 5 times a week. But I'm talking about what is it that you can do consistently. And if that is, okay, I can put out a YouTube once a week, I can put out 2 emails, and I can show up on LinkedIn. If that is your mix, I'm in favor of you doing the mix that's going to be the most sustainable for you. You're in business for the long haul. So I want you to be able to say, like, I can regularly show up to do things. Now, that being said, it's always going to be great if you have your email list, build that up. It's great to have a long-term lead generation tool. So if it could be a podcast, if it can be YouTube, something along those lines, those are going to be great. And then a place where you can connect people in a quick instant. So if it's going to be LinkedIn, if it's going to be TikTok, if it's going to be Instagram, those are also really good places to go. But always build up your email list. Always have some place where people can be able to search for you. So if it's going to be on YouTube or a podcast or something like that, that's where I'm going to want you to also spend some time, where people can get really intimate with you and your thoughts and how you think about things.
Right, right. You have shared some great, tips for the audience, for the small business owners, especially coaches and consultants. But there is much more to understand about these things. So for those people who want to learn more from you, more about you, connect with you professionally, what is the best way for them to do so, Daniel?
But you can follow me on Instagram. My handle is Danielle.R.Harris, and you can follow me there. And then also, I have an email newsletter. So if you follow me on there, you can easily get onto my email newsletter where I send out weekly information and tips on how you can best use your own story and use that to grow your audience and get more clients and meet your business to where it is that you want to meet it to be.
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.